Hi everybody! Today we're going to be doing a full face of Passion Pro makeup. I got a few new items that I've been testing, so I thought we'd just do a full face. However, there is, I think, one product missing that they didn't have in the range, so without further ado, let's jump straight in. You'll notice as well that I am in a different area of my house just because my light broke. I'm sure I mentioned it in one of my book videos, but I don't know if that's coming out before or after this, but my main light just won't switch on, so I'm actually filming in natural lighting. So this is the only place in my house that gets a lot of light in because we have like a little sunroof, so it kind of shades it, so on the other side of the house you don't get as much light in. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out, but for now, until I get a new light or I manage to fix my other light, I'm gonna be filming in front of this window. So the first product we have here is part of my project pan. So this is the Passion Pro Partner in Prime Dewy Pore Minimizing Face Primer with Hyaluronic Acid. This is the only primer the line has, and it is, I think it was 49 Rand if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and it's almost finished, hence why it's part of my project pan, and I'm just gonna add this all over the face. It is more like a moisturizing primer. It's not terrible, but it doesn't do anything specific. Like, I don't notice much difference other than massifying my face slightly, which is completely contradictory to even the long ass name on it, which is a dewy pore minimizing primer. So I'm gonna zoom you guys slightly in, but can you see a difference? I cannot. Also, there weren't a lot of cream products. They don't have cream blush, they don't have cream bronzer, so we're gonna skip all of those just to keep it true. The only thing that, like I said, there was one product that they didn't have, which was blush. I couldn't find a blush anywhere, and I was gonna like get an eyeshadow palette and try and use one of those, but I thought it was such a waste because they do have like 3-pan eyeshadows, which is 45 Rand, and then these 5-pan quints, they are 49 Rand. So I just didn't think it was worth it if I wasn't going to use the other shades in the palette. Like, there was no point. So I'm just going to use a different blush for this. For foundation, I'm using the Passion Labs Photo Finish Liquid Foundation, and it is like that, and it is meant to be a moisturizing formula, which I can attest to. However, the shade you'll see is really orange, especially now in natural lighting. You'll be able to see it more. I do like this. It does have a fragrance though, which isn't terrible. I don't mind fragrance, but sometimes I do react to it, but this has been fine on me. Unfortunately, not all discounts sell this Passion Labs one, which is part of the Passion Pro line. Not all of them sell it, but I did find this one in Tiger Valley, just in case you were wondering. For this, I'm gonna start off with a brush, and I literally put like what I think is a pump, like that much on. I use that basically over my whole face. So I'll go and I'll just, oh, I did a lot there, and just wipe some all over my face and then blend it out. I don't know if you can see, but the color is slightly off, but let's go ahead and just blend this out. I do really like the finish of this foundation, but the smell, like I said, it doesn't bother me, but it just smells like very perfumed makeup, like they're trying to mask something, because it is really affordable. So I don't think all the ingredients in it are like top class ingredients, but I mean, it does the job. I'm currently like set up on the floor and I have like an ottoman over here holding my mirror, and then I have all my brushes here, my laptop on something to record the sound, and then a basket of goodies. Yeah, I'm a little bit out of sorts, but hopefully we can sort it out since the main focus is obviously the makeup. I just hope the clouds don't come in and out too much. I can already see it's gone slightly darker, but hopefully you guys can still see everything. And come a bit closer, but you can still see like my actual skin through like all my freckles and stuff. I really like that. I like more of like a natural foundation. I always have. Like, there's a time and a place for everything, but for every day I feel like this is really good coverage. Like I said, the tone is quite orange, but that's a general problem with affordable products. They either lean too orange, too red, and they just don't have the darker shades down. Like, this is a very, very warm. We can fix that with powder and stuff like that. For concealer, we have the Passion Labs Instant Cover Flawless Concealer, and this is 29 Rand. It just focuses on my face, but it looks like that. I didn't say this one is in the shade. I don't think it even says. Yeah, it doesn't say the shade on this, so I'm not 100% sure what the shade on this one is, but on this one we are... It doesn't say on it either. That's so weird that none of the shades are on the product. Usually it will like say it on the label even, but there's no shade. So I'm assuming this is like a medium, but it is again very orange. So I'm just gonna put this in the usual places. With this one as well, it has the same scent as the foundation does, which is quite worrying because it's so close to your under eyes. I'm just gonna put this on my under eyes like that, just because oh, and I need to put some on my eyelids because I don't have a eyeshadow primer. Just because it is so orange, I will just cover up my under eye circles, dark circles, and then yeah, leave it at that. Otherwise it is too orange, because I have tried to put it through the center planes on my face, but definitely too orange for that. So I'm just going to use a little paddle brush just to blend this out. I found that this keeps the coverage, and then afterwards I go in with a sponge all over the face just to blend everything else in more seamlessly. As you can see, it is pretty dewy. You can see it like reflect back in the light. The sun's coming out now. It is also quite a sticky formula. I suggest like giving it a couple of minutes just to dry down before you go in with powder, because otherwise it can go quite cakey. But it does a really good job at covering up like my dark circles. Like, you can still slightly see it through, but there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I really like the texture of it. I just wish the color range was better. So I'm just going to give this a second to dry down, and then we're going to move on to one of the products that I'm most excited about today. Like I was saying, this is one of the most exciting products for today for me. I've tried this now, I think 4 times, and I thought it was a blip the first time I used it, but oh my gosh, this is so good. So it is the Passion Pro Compact Powder. Mine is in the shade beige. It says it on this one, and it's 49 Rand, but it is so gorgeous on the skin. It's blurring. It makes your pores appear smaller. I just love it. I've been using it every day since. I think on the weekend I went out for breakfast with like my sister, and literally I just put some concealer on and some liquid bronzer and then popped this all over the face, and it looked flawless. It was honestly so gorgeous, and I cannot recommend this more. For 49 Rand, so good. I have like the Maybelline Fit Me powder, I have the Charlotte Tilbury powder, I have quite a few powders, but this one performs really good, and it's probably the most affordable one I have. So I'm just going to pick some up, tap out my under eye creases, just going to set under my eye first. I use a smaller brush for this just to get in there, and I'm also just going to set my lid. But look at the difference. I think it looks so good, but wait until we get to the porous areas like a sponge. And I'm just gonna set over here, which is where I have my largest pores, and then switch to a bigger brush, and I'm just going to set one side of my face so I can show you the difference. I don't know if it's like a trick of the light, but honestly this powder looks great on me. It also helps to lighten the foundation slightly because I think it does have some coverage. One thing I will say as well is that they didn't have many shades. I think they had 4 shades if I'm not mistaken, so it's not a lot, but I took the second lightest shade because the other ones just looked too dark and it could probably be a bronzer on me, but the lightest one was obviously too light. So look at that. I think it looks amazing. I'm just gonna go ahead and set the other side of my face the exact same way. I still don't think this shade is perfect for me, but especially not for my under eyes, but it's all I could find. I was going to get a lighter one and a darker one, but then it would last forever. But yeah, I'm trying not to, conscious consumerism. So I'm trying not to spend too much on makeup this year and actually just use what I have. So I thought this would be great because I usually prefer to set my under eyes with a loose powder, but I really, really love this powder. It's so good. Next, moving on to bronzer, we have the Passion Pro Natural Glow Compact Bronzer, and mine is in the shade Sun Lovers, and this again is 49 Rand. So it does have a shimmer in it. I don't know if you can see, but it looks really pretty on the skin. I mean, it's not a contour, it is a bronzer, so just to like add some dimension to the face, but not really to sculpt out the face. I've shown this already on my channel. This isn't one of the new products, but I'm just gonna pop I'm just gonna pop this on the cheeks. As you can see there, it adds a nice glow and just like brings everything together, in my opinion. I love bronzer though. This one is leaning more orange once again, but it is a bronzer, so it's okay for that. It doesn't really have to be too neutral if it's not a contour. Still just put some on my neck, even though it is quite shimmery, and then just like on the end of my nose. I'm not sure if you can see, but there is a golden shift to it. I think it looks really pretty though, and it just brings everything together. It kind of does still sculpt out your face because of the placement, but yeah, I really, really like that. I think it's gorgeous. I haven't used it too much just because I'm concentrating on other things for a project pan, but this is really good for 49 Rand again. I will put up the total cost of everything at the end of the video. Not everything from the brand is amazing, but definitely some little core items that, like the powder and this bronzer, if you're not like willing to spend so much on makeup, and if you're a beginner and just want to play around with different things, I think this is a great option for that. There's another brand called like Beauty Treats, but everything of that brand smells like talcum powder, as well as being really, really powdery and dusty. I think this is really, really worth it. I thought it wouldn't stick to my face because it does have a bit of kick up, but that's just the talc and the mica in it. I think this is gorgeous. I've again shown this in another video, but this is my highlighter for today, and that is the Passion Pro. I keep saying Passion Pro, everything in this video is Passion Pro or Passion Labs, and it's only the foundation and the concealer that are Passion Labs, the rest is all Passion Pro. But this is just a highlighter palette in the shade Limelight, and this again I think was 49 Rand if I'm not mistaken, if not 59 Rand, but it is a duo, so you get two shades in here, and there's a peachy one and a more bronzy one. And today I think I'm going to use the more bronzy one, and I'm just going to take it on a fluffy brush. I really do like this as well. It is quite smooth, not too glittery, and I'm just going to pop that on the cheeks. It doesn't really accentuate any of the texture on my skin, which is always what I'm looking for. Sometimes it can make you look really bumpy and lumpy, even though you're not that much. Gorge! Now that the sun is out, you can really see that, and you can see it's really smooth. So I'm just gonna pop off camera and add some blush, and then we'll move on to the eyes. Before moving on to eyes, actually I do have a setting spray, and this is the Passion Pro Glow Getter Hydrating Setting Spray. I have used this before, like I said, because I wanted to test everything out before coming on camera, so I have an opinion. This is similar to the MUA Pro Base setting spray I used a couple of months ago, more than a couple. It was like in the beginning of last year. I did a full face of MUA. This smells exactly the same, and it feels like the same texture, so that was also really affordable. But this one was 89 Rand, which is a little bit more than all the other products that are in the range. I'm not sure how long lasting it is, but I do like the way it just settles all my makeup in my face. So my camera battery is about to die, so I'm just going to go ahead and spray my whole face with this, give this a sec to dry down while I change out my battery, and then we will definitely move on to the eyes. Okay, so moving on to eyes, I've mentioned these before, and I just didn't like any of the other colorways that much, so that's why I'm still using these. And I have two colorways. I've used this one before on my channel, but I don't think I've used this one, so I'm gonna mainly focus on the more neutral one. Is called Forest, and it is 49 Rand, and that's what those shades look like. And then I have the all shimmer one, which is Tantalizing Turquoise, again 49 Rand, and that is what it looks like. Today I think I'm going to just use these 3 shades over here, maybe even just 2, but I think I will, we'll see. And then this one I'm just going to use the brown for like a transitional shade. So let's get started on this. So I'm just going to grab a fluffy brush, this brown, and I'm just going to pop that through the crease. These blend really, really nice. I wish they had like an all matte one instead of having so many shimmers. It's okay, you can make do with it and just add like an accompanying palette. I can't speak today. So it is quite warm and I'm using my cooler colors, so I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. I did practice another look, but it all just ends up looking similar, and I have a few like pictures up on Instagram where I used it as well, and the look just turned out so similar. So I thought I'm gonna go for something different. I'm gonna start off, we'll see if we'll use a third one, but I want to start off with this like minty shade. It is quite crumbly. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. So I'm gonna spray it with some setting spray just to get it to adhere, and then I'm gonna pop this basically all over the lid. Oh, that doesn't actually look that bad. I thought it would look too cool toned compared to the brown, but it actually looks all right. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the pink, and I'm just going to take that from the inner corner and blend it into the like a minty color over there. Again, this shade is also pretty dusty, but like this one is actually my favorite because it looks a lot more shimmery than the rest of the colors. Like that's more of like a slightly foiled look, and the others are just like standard shimmers. So with a pink, again, it shows up more like a white color more than pink, but it is like a candy floss color. So I'm just gonna spray that again because I feel like it just gives you more out of the shadow. Look at me. I'm just going to pop that. None of the products have mirrors in them either, so just in case you like that, it doesn't. It also doesn't have as much as a base as the rest of them do, but it is a really nice option if you are, like I said, a beginner in makeup and just want to experiment with a few different textures and colors. I think this is a great option. Then I'm just going to go ahead and just intensify that mint again where we lost some of it, like that. And then I'm just going to take the brown again and run it under my eye, on my lower lash line. Almost thought I wasn't recording sound there. It happens to me too often than I like to admit. I don't see any problem with these. They're not too powdery, there's not a lot of fallout, they blend nice. So if you are in the market for some colorful eyeshadow palettes or even some neutral ones, they do have a few options. There's pinks, there's purples, there's red, there's orange. So yeah, I think this is a really, really great option, I'm not gonna lie. So next we're gonna move into mascara, and I did get a new one from them. So this is a new product, been trying it for about 4 days. The formula is quite sticky. It is very sticky. So it's difficult to get off. Like I had put some on yesterday, and then this morning when I was washing my face, bits were still coming off. And I'm not sure how good that is for your lashes because I feel like it kind of tugs on them and pulls them out. But it is very long lasting, I can tell you that. It doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge. So I'm not sure if that's due to the sticky formula or if it's just cheap, but this one was 44 Rand as well, and it is called Lash Queen by Passion Pro, and it's super volume mascara bold brush fuller look, which is a lie. It's not volumizing in any way, I can tell you that much. I will show you. So I have one good eye, one bad eye. These lashes are unruly, they just don't adhere, and then this side is my good side. So I'm gonna put it on my good side and then we'll compare the two sides. Let me show you the brush. I really, really like it. I love these like rubber bristles with a lot of bristles because usually it gives you quite a bit of volume, but the formula is just so wet, and as you can see, like the brush doesn't really hold a lot of product, but it's because it is so wet and watery. So let's do one coat. Like it does a good job at separating my lashes, but I don't think there's much volume. So that's one coat. It adds like a nice blackness, and I feel like it lengthens and separates your lashes, but there's no actual volume in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and add a second coat. And because it's so wet as well, it gets pretty messy. I'm not going to lie. Second coat, and it looks exactly the same to me. So it is better than like the Scarlet Hill one from Mr. Price. Definitely miles above that one, but it's still not like Essence that gives you like real volume and lifts. And this is just an average one, which is great for every day because I don't like too heavy lashes during the day. Don't know what else to say about that, but that's it. So besides it being just really wet, it is an okay mascara. Not the best. You could probably get something from Essence, but it is affordable. So lastly, we have lipstick, and the shade is not great. It is called Aurora, and it is the Passion Pro, obviously, Moisture Surge lipstick. Looks like that. This is the shade. So I thought it would be like a nice cool tone nude, but it's almost like non-existent. I did just line my lips because they do not have any lip liners, and I'm just gonna fill my lips with that. It looks like concealer lips. Mix that together, but it looks almost like white, like I have nothing on my lip. Yeah, I'm just gonna take down my hair and then we will give you some final thoughts. Okay, so this is the final look. And yeah, there isn't anything from the brand that I absolutely, oh, what's my forehead? That I absolutely dislike. That's really weird for me. There's always something that I have to say that's slightly negative, but there's two products here that I wouldn't really recommend, and that would be the primer. You can get a better one from Essence for the same price, as well as the setting spray. Again, you can get a better one from Essence that is more multi-purpose than this one is. I just feel like, as you can see, my face is still really, really matte, obviously other than the glowy products I put on, but it doesn't really add any glow, and neither does this. So I feel like the names of them are quite misleading, and they just looking at what's popular and kind of just naming it after that. Like, this is the longest name ever and is so unnecessary for their primer, but I feel like they had to over explain because it just doesn't make sense and it's so contradictory. If you are in need of a setting spray, this is quite a large one, I'm gonna say that, for 89 Rand, but the Essence ones are a lot better and they're only like 81 Rand, so you can save like 8 Rand on your setting spray. But I go through setting spray like I do my underwear because I'm constantly wetting my shadows, and I kind of set my face maybe once or twice during the process of doing a full face. So yeah, those are the two products I wouldn't recommend. Their shade range isn't amazing, but if you can find something that really suits you, I would 100% recommend it. Also avoid that, if you're my skin tone or similar, avoid the color of that lipstick, but it feels really comfortable on the lips. It feels like a lip balm. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. I kind of broke my rule by buying a few things, but it's hard for me not to buy makeup. It's literally one of the hardest things. So I did buy one. Yeah, I only bought these 3 items, which was the compact powder, which is my favorite of today, and then the mascara and the setting spray. So the mascara isn't great, like I said, but for every day, it's really handy. It is difficult to get off, even with my cleansing oil, but it's still a good thing for every single day if you are on a tight budget. But yeah, that's it from me, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.